Salon owners, if you have already started to bring in cleaner products, more sustainable practices, or a more holistic experience, but you haven't seen a budge in your profits, this episode is for you. Because going clean is not enough on its own. If your pricing, packages, positioning, and messaging have not changed, this 2026 pivot is going to feel like a really expensive hobby. And I have heard so many salon owners talking about the expense of it all. But when you have done it right, it does not have to be an expensive hobby. This can be a pivot to actually raise and get more revenues and profits into your bottom line. So I want you to be honest about where you're at. You're not starting from zero. You've probably already started maybe to swap some retail or back bar for cleaner, low tox lines, partnered with a recycling or waste reduction program. And maybe you've added a few holistic touches, scalp rituals, aromatherapy, soothing experience upgrades, something like that. And still, your profit margin feels tight because you haven't really started to talk about it to your clients or put it into your messaging and create an ecosystem around what you're doing. You might be feeling nervous to raise prices again while costs are still climbing. You're not seeing clients choose your new offerings the way that you thought you would, and you're not imagining the pressure. Running costs for salons continue to rise from rent to wages, utilities, product cost. It's all at the same time. And marketing is exploding, beauty and salon services are still growing, but the growth is happening where there's clear differentiation and value. This is going to be the biggest thing, is your clients have to see and feel the difference and the value in what you're doing. The issue usually isn't that clean and sustainable can't be profitable. It's you've upgraded the inputs, but not the story, the mission, the marketing, the ecosystem of it all. Clients are more willing than ever to pay for clean, sustainable, value-aligned beauty when they understand it and can feel the difference. Recent data shows that around 68% of consumers actively look for products described as clean, and nearly 60% are influenced by natural and organic labels. Roughly around 55% of beauty consumers say that they're willing to pay more for environmentally friendly options, and the younger buyers are leading this change in the industry. Sustainable and ethical services are becoming a clear differentiator in the salon market, attracting premium clientele. But the catch is that they're not paying just because you silently switch over your color line or add a recycling bin to your back room. These are all great things. They want to see the story. There's got to be something more to that because they pay attention when the service feels elevated and intentional. The benefits to them have to be obvious. Health benefits, results, experience, value. The way that you talk about it makes them feel proud to choose it. I want you to think about, in today's climate, how many people you see on social media banning and not going to certain businesses because of what the values are, what they stand for. It is the same for what they're actually buying, right? So if they're boycotting certain businesses because of their values, and I'm not saying that you have to get political or that you have to, go all crazy. What I'm saying is you need to put a stance in, like a line in the sand of what you stand for. So when you become clean, sustainable, holistic, there's a reason behind it. You want healthier alternatives. You want to create a safe space. You're standing for something more. You want to protect your health. You want to protect your team's health and your client's health. and the planet. So all of that makes a difference. And when you are very clear on why you are standing your ground, that is when you start to find the clientele that align with that and have been looking for that exact type of business. The 3 gaps you've got to start to look at is the pricing, the packaging, the marketing in how you're speaking and educating your clients. So most salon owners who are feeling stuck in this stage have maybe one of these gaps. The pricing gap, which is the old math and the new cost, but you're absorbing the higher cost of clean products and programs without adjusting. Your service prices are add-on fees. They're like small green or stewardship fees. It depends on how you are set up, but there's membership packaging, all sorts of different pricing gaps to make sure that you're not just spiking your pricing, but you're creating that value and the pricing shows and reflects that. So I don't mean just like a packaging that the product comes in, but your packaging. Have you looked at and expanded on your services? Or have you just brought in a new product that's clean, or just started recycling and everything else from the outside looks the same? We need to start to integrate those decisions into your service menus, into your story brand, into your website. The packaging around what you're creating is crucial. And if you have a gap there, clients don't see that. They are not digging and looking at every little thing, especially your existing clients. Like new clients are definitely going to start to dig in and look at what you're doing. And if you're just like every other salon, but you just have like a clean brand, but you're not putting the packaging together of what that means and the story and the mission behind it, you are losing out severely on clients. And your existing clients have no idea why you changed it. They just are like, oh, well, I mean, they changed products, but I'm still getting the same service, because they don't know all the things that you're doing behind the scenes to make it better for them. And the third is the positioning or the marketing, the messaging gap. You're silently doing these upgrades behind the scenes, but your clients don't know what changed. They don't understand why it matters, and they don't see themselves in your story. So from their perspectives, your prices went up and you seem to really, be into sustainability now, but their experience and their identity have not been pulled into that. They have not been fully immersed into the why behind it. When we're talking about the different types of levers you can pull for this new year, looking at the lever 1, building premium, intentional experiences, not just services. Clients pay for longer, more personalized appointments, especially in this world of AI and social media where everything is like quick and hurry up, and they feel rushed throughout their day. So they want rituals that feel more restorative, scalp treatments, aromatherapy, nervous system calming. They want environments that align with their health, their value, their wellness, because everything's going towards wellness. So high-performing salons are already using wellness add-ons and personalized treatments to increase average ticket and retention. When you start to create a signature one to two signature services that embody your clean, holistic approach, and you price them as your hero experiences, not just tiny upgrades buried in the menu, but they're your number one things that you want every client to experience. And then when we look at the lever number 2 is using small, transparent fees where appropriate. So there's 2 ways to this, right? You've got a green fee where you see some salon owners adding that on to kind of cover some of the cost of waste management and eco programs and recycling. You can add that green fee on and tell all your clients about it and why you're using it up front. Like you can just add it on to every service, or you build that in to your bottom line. So as you're putting all of the prices together for your services, you add that in, just like you would add in your credit card fees. I see a lot of people and salon owners starting to charge that credit card fee. You know, they're spending $100 with you, and then you say they go to pay for with a credit card, and now there's a 3% add-on because they're paying with credit card. That's fine if that's what you want to do. I personally think that just adding everything into your service and your ticket price is going to be more palatable for your clients. So when I'm building out the price of my services, you better believe green fee is added into that the credit card fee is added into that, so that they feel like they just get one price and I'm not nickeling and diming them to death. That being said, you know your clients. How are they going to feel about it? Do they care? Are they fine with that? I don't feel like there's a right or a wrong way. I think there's a right or wrong way for your salon. But if you don't know how that's going to play out in your salon, how are you able to start to actually like track it and see if it's helping your business or hurting your business? So you want to make sure you're pulling that lever of looking at your pricing and what actually is going to work best for you. And the third lever is stop apologizing for your pricing. Costs are up. Clean, ethical products and waste programs are often more expensive up front, but they save you tons of money down, the long run. But your pricing has to reflect that. So just like I was talking about the green fee or the credit card fee, your pricing has to reflect the product costs, the time costs, your expertise, the additional value of safer, more sustainable environment. Knowing your cost per service and building pricing from there is no longer optional if you want profit. But you're not charging extra because it's cute and green and you're sustainable. You're charging appropriate for the level of care and integrity you're delivering. So if you just raise your prices because you have a higher priced product now and you don't change anything else, that's where you're going to get clients really pushing back and wanting to leave. So you need to look at what is the value that they're getting for that additional cost. So messaging and telling your story and the journey is where most salon owners start to freeze, and they're not sharing all of that with their team or with their clients in order to get them on board. They're trying to, I know for me, like in the beginning, I was just trying to get everything right and then present it to my clients. But truthfully, your clients want to see the journey. They want to hear and see and feel your story, your mission, why things are changing, so that they can be a part of it. The more that you start to get them in on being a part of the bigger mission, the impact that this is going to have on their health and on the planet, the upgrades that they'll get to experience and feel is gold. This is such a beautiful way to start to get people involved. And it also gives you a little bit of leeway to not have everything perfect. Because let's face it, as you're starting to transition over to clean and sustainable beauty, you're going to mess up. You're going to have to figure it out. Just like with anything. Like if you're changing anything in your business, you kind of have to figure out how it's working and the good and the bad and like what to do around all of that. And the more that you share that journey openly and you're authentic and you're transparent, the more that your clients buy in and they are rooting for you and they're cheering you on and they're giving you ideas and they're like just as invested as you are. but you have to share the journey and the messaging that comes along with that. So all of this changes in the background, but then not telling your clients, that's why you're not seeing profits. That's why you're not seeing more clients bought in and excited about everything. They need to feel the change. So going into 2026, I believe that salons that thrive, that really start to see the profit and the explosion in their business, are going to embrace sustainability and clean practices as a business model, not just a side note. They're going to create the ethos around that. Design offers and pricing to reflect their reality, not the fear that they have, right? They're going to communicate clearly enough that the right client says, finally, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I am so excited to find a salon like this because I've been searching forever, right? The global salon and the sustainability beauty markets are growing fast. Money is being spent. It's just shifting towards businesses that feel aligned, intentional, trustworthy, and where clients can feel safe. So you're not charging more because you're greedy or because you changed a product. You're charging appropriately because you're delivering more value to the clients and they can feel that through and through. If you've already started to go clean, sustainable, if you started to make these changes, but your pricing, your packages still don't feel like they align with that, you're not seeing the surge of new clients, your existing clients don't even know what the heck is happening, and you just feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, I want you to listen up and join me in the Clean Beauty Blueprint. This is where I really start to break everything down so that you can see that, what clean, sustainable beauty really is, and you have the tools to start to educate not only yourself, but your team and your clients so that you can create a surge of clients that are craving exactly what it is that you want to build in your salon. Make sure that you drop a comment and I will send you, or look in the show notes for the link to the Clean Beauty Blueprint and the Conscious Leader program. And thank you so much for listening to the episode. I can't wait to see you on the next one.